Hey everybody, so today I thought I'd share with you a facial cleanser. As you can see, my own facial thing is getting a bit better. I was trialing out just using the seaweed capsules actually, because the antiviral aspect of them, and the pumpkin seed, and I definitely think the pumpkin seed oil felt really nice on my lip. Yeah, first time for using that one. So the facial cleanser I'm going to make today, I'm making this predominantly for my daughter, really, because she's rather a fan of using lots of different stuff. You know, they do say that ladies in general, not necessarily my daughter, but ladies in general probably use somewhere between about 300 different products on their face on a daily basis. You know, if you were to read I'm trying to look for the ingredients that are on the back. So if everything has 10, 15 ingredients in it, I don't mean that they use 300 different products, but 300 different ingredients, potentially chemical based, on their skin every day. So that they have effect obviously on our well, they soak into our skin and would have an effect on our hormones, chemical imbalance, and various things. I try to be mindful of what I use. I'm sure I'm not 100%. I'm not 100% vegan or vegetarian nor organic, but I certainly err on the side of predominantly that way if I can, if I have a choice. So the facial cleanser I'm going to make is predominantly made with water, but I'm also going to use lavender essential oil, because that one's really good for skin and it helps balance sebum, and she's 14, so we're all about balancing that. Grapefruit as well, and that's her oil of choice. There's you can use whatever oils you like, but she really likes this, so if we make something that she likes the smell of, she's going to probably use it more frequently, even if it is made by me. So grapefruit has an antiseptic property in it, and it's really quite an uplifting and nice one to use. And the other one is the trusty old tea tree, which has got antiseptic properties in it as well. It's one we've used in our, well, I've used personally for, I can't remember when, since whenever. And yeah, my kids would know that this is the one to use if you've got cuts and scrapes and whatever else. So what I've done is I'm going to just use repurpose, do they say, as opposed to recycle, a jam jar. And what I've done is I've mixed the three oils in that already together, the three essential oils, and I've swirl them about just to synergize them up a little bit. I did that a little bit before we started there. So what I'm going to add to this is 1 tablespoon of Castile soap. So that's Castile soap. You can find that in a health food shop, definitely. And I'm just going to add that in. So that's going to help add that soapy kind of texture a little bit to it, okay? So that's 1 tablespoon of that. And I'm going to add in 1 tablespoon of carrier oil. So the two I'd probably use, or maybe 3 even, of choice that I would use. One is grapeseed. Sweet almond oil, if you're not obviously allergic to any nuts. And this one is possibly easier to come by in a health food shop. I also like apricot kernel oil. It's quite a light oil. It's probably even lighter in colour than the sesame seed, or not sesame seed, sweet almond oil that you get. And it's kind of the same. It's a light oil. It flows really easy. Whereas, as I was saying about the pumpkin seed oil, it's very heavy, and they call it viscosity, so it moves much slower. It's like if you've ever poured oils out of an essential oil bottle, and those that flow really slowly, you might think the thingy is blocked or the bottle is empty. They're usually resins, or what they call base notes, and those are what I would deem a viscosity. They're heavier. So I'm going to add a tablespoon of carrier oil, and we talked about it earlier on, and she's happy enough to try out sweet almond oil. She does try out some things that I make, but she definitely often gives me a little eyeball and going, "Did you make this?" And I get a face. So just adding those to the jar, and I'm going to give those a mix up. So to blend those together, as you can see, kind of emulsifies. And then to that, I'm going to add half a teaspoon of witch hazel. Witch hazel itself is a great astringent. Astringent meaning it tightens the skin. For years, actually, when I used to clean my face, I used to really like that feeling. So I used to think that that meant it was really clean, and yes, it is, but it's actually not great for your skin. It's amazing what you learn with life experience. So we're going to add a half teaspoon of witch hazel. So this you can definitely get in a pharmacy. I know I've bought mine there, and you don't use a great deal of it in a lot of recipes, but it works as a preservative, but it's also an added astringent, and it would be in a lot of cleansers. So again, we're just going to stir that up. So it's got a kind of good milky consistency there, as you can see. And then to that, I'm going to add some water. Now you might have noticed I think somebody had made a reference to it. I use a copper jug for water. So we live in an area of quite limey water, and that leaves residue. So I use, and we definitely are on an iron pan of some description. We use a filter, and then of course the filter takes out everything. So it strips of good and bad. So I then put my filtered water into the copper jug, and copper is a mineral that we're often a bit lacking in. You know the way people wear copper bracelets for arthritic conditions? So I drink water out of I don't have any arthritic conditions, not yet anyway, that I'm aware of. So that's what it looks like. So it's like a milky cleanser. Now, so I could leave that in there, and you can just use one of your, the circular makeup things, and dip it in. But a great way of doing it is actually just putting them all in to this, being that they shall fit. So, and then they're soaking in it. Like you buy those makeup pads like this. So the idea is then you peel it out as you wish to use it. Give it a little squeeze, and it's ready to go. Oh, it feels really nice. Actually, my videographer and my tester is going to give this a go behind the scenes. No, she will not appear on camera. So what we can do is, like, the jar is probably a little bit on the wide side really for these guys. So what we can do is we can either top it up or use a skinnier jar. But because it's got a little bit of oil, it won't feel quite so abrasive. The witch hazel has got that astringent quality. The water obviously is filtered and copper water, so it'll be good for your skin. And then it's got 3 essential oils in it that equally are beneficial. So we're just going to put the lid on, and voila. So obviously you wouldn't store this now in direct sunlight or something like that because they dry out. So we'll keep it in the bathroom cupboard. We could probably give it another little poke with this to get them to squeeze down a little bit further. Might add a little drop extra water actually. Play around with it a little bit. Oh yeah, the combination is really nice actually. I know, it's always, I smell things and I go, oh yeah, as if I'd forgotten, or as if this was a brand new smell to me. New combination. It's nice actually. That's really nice, so hopefully she'll use it. So I was going to just, I forgot to mention one day I was wearing these amber earrings, not these ones, but a different set of amber earrings. I know there's a tiny little amber stone in the bottom of these. And just interestingly enough, that amber is a stone, the colour purple is associated with our crown chakra, our universal consciousness, spirituality, whatever shape and form that means to you. But also amber was a thing that was worn by bishops. I think maybe actually probably they still do, in their rings. Ring on the finger. But it's one that's it's anti, what's the term they use for it? It's when it prevents you from becoming overwhelmed by whether it's alcohol or other things. So it's like this preventative thing about amethyst. Did I say that? No, I called it amber, didn't I? Did I call it amber? Oh no, sorry. Whoops, amethyst I meant. Sorry, purple. Jesus. You're probably going, what she written on about amber. Yeah, so it's a really, really interesting thing. So it's supposed to be preventative. So I have this chain of amber necklaces that I bought when I was traveling in Thailand. There was about 6 of them in it. And I used to put them on together. And I used to like to try and test it and go out and have a few pints and see if it had any effect. I actually don't think it did really. But anyway, it used to make me giggle. So I will pop the recipe for that up later on. And yeah. Obviously, you can make it with whatever essential oils you like. I just think it's a nice little simple one to do. And most of these should be available in your health food shop, if not. And if anybody has any difficulty sourcing any of the oils, I do have a few. I don't keep every single oil in my my stock, but I have some. So anyway, I hope you're getting to enjoy the day wherever you are, and ciao for now.